What's going on, guys? Aarava here. Welcome back to my F1 2015 career mode with Romain Grosjean. We're back with part number 4 today for the Bahrain Grand Prix under the floodlights. Now, the last time out, part 3, Chinese Grand Prix, we had a very solid result. If you haven't seen that yet, then go check it out on my channel. Here's your chance. Now, pause the video. Part 3 of the Chinese Grand Prix, really solid result. The straight line pace was really there, and I'm hoping we can do the same sort of thing here in Bahrain because, of course, in real life, it's always talked up to be a power circuit, and they've always talked about the Renault maybe struggling there in terms of their engine power, and the Red Bull having to drop a bit of aerodynamics to try and catch up on the power they're losing. So theoretically, with our powerful Mercedes engine in the back of this Lotus, we should do pretty alright. So we're here in Q1 at the moment. Now, on the topic of the actual driving and the wheel itself, obviously you guys know the past 3 episodes, basically, last 2 episodes, I've been talking about this little issue I've been having with my wheel in terms of it just feels a little bit funny. It's felt funny ever since the patch, and it just hasn't felt quite right. But I've done some testing, I've done some fiddling around, I've got the settings a little bit better, but I've done some more testing around. I actually did a bit of a time trial session, also an actual proper qualifying session with fuel with the AI cars in a Ferrari at Spain, and I tried to match my time that I did back in Season 1 at Spain with the Ferrari, and I was able to, obviously, as the weeks go on, obviously I'll get faster at the F1 game because you always have to get used to the new F1 game, so you get faster and faster as the weeks go on. But I was able to match and beat my time from Season 1, and that got me thinking, and also on the lap it felt pretty damn decent. So I've come to the conclusion that maybe it's, you know, there is still something a little bit funny because the lap felt good in the Ferrari, but there was still something a little bit off. But I've come to the conclusion that a large majority of it is probably me thinking that the Lotus should have a little bit more downforce than it probably actually does, and maybe I'm asking too much of the car. So in terms of when I turn in, maybe I'm just thinking there might be a bit too much downforce than I'm actually going to be getting, and I think maybe I need to just come to realization that maybe the Codemasters have actually properly modeled the Lotus a little bit. You know, it's good in a straight line, but maybe the chassis isn't actually that great, and I think maybe I just need to stop, you know, thinking a bit too much of it, maybe asking a bit too much of it in the corners. But at the same time, there is something definitely still a little bit funny, because even on the lap I did in the Ferrari, it felt just a little bit strange. But anyway, as I've been waffling on about that, I know I might be talking about it quite a lot, but it is affecting my enjoyment of the game at the moment. It just feels a bit too weird, and it just doesn't feel as great as it did before. But we're here now, so let's stop the waffling, let's get on to Q3. We're on to the Q3 lap, we're coming later on into that Q3 lap. So as you saw, we got through Q1, Q2, that's why, you know, we're always going to get through to Q3, I feel, in the Lotus, so that's why I don't really feel necessary to completely just focus on talking about that, because, you know, we're always going to get through, I hope, at least, in the Lotus. So we're here in Q3 now. Let's talk about this lap. It was a pretty tidy lap. I felt pretty decent on it, so we're coming through the final corner now here at Bahrain. Q1 and Q2, we flew through it. It was all good, so let's see what we can do in Q3 here. I'll hope we can get into the top 5. I think that'll be quite a good position. We're through, obviously, P1 right now, but that's because no one set a lap time yet, and we cut later onto the session. Right now we are in P5, so we're meeting my own objective, our actual game objective, P7, but I said if we can get top 5, that'd be pretty cool. So right now we're in P5, so we're doing that, but we're coming through for our second flying lap. What is this going to be? Open the DRS, go across the line, P3 at the moment, behind Vettel and Rosberg, but then by the time the session ends, Felipe Massa and Lewis Hamilton bang in a great lap time there, and we're down to P5, unfortunately, back again. So P5, as I said, it would be nice to get into P5, so we have done that. So that's job done. P5, Rosberg's on pole, Hamilton second, so surprise, surprise, the two Mercedes lock out the front row. Vettel there in third place. Raikkonen, I'm very happy that we managed to out-qualify Raikkonen there, so that's pretty damn good. So we're in P5 for the grid, for the race. Let's get on to the Bahrain Grand Prix. So here we are under the floodlights for the Bahrain Grand Prix. As you can see, our teammate Pastor Maldonado has qualified in 13th place, which is not too amazing if you consider he qualified in the top 10 for China. So I don't know what went on there. Maybe, you know, he did so well in China, maybe he decided to take a break during qualifying at Bahrain. I don't know. But we're here in 5th place behind Felipe Massa, just ahead of Kimi Raikkonen, as I said, which is very good. So here we are on the grid. It's going to be a very straightforward race, I feel. You know, 2-stop, option, prime. So in that sense, we're not going to mix anything up. But here we go to 5 5 red lights for the Bahrain Grand Prix, and we're off straight away. Felipe Massa getting an excellent start there. He's already looking in the back of Sebastian Vettel as Kimi Raikkonen now looks on the back of us, and he's actually steamrolled past us into turn 1. Can we go around the outside? We've actually got a pretty decent start compared to the starts we have had in this Lotus previously, and we've managed to get it back into 5th place. Although the Iceman did get us into turn 1, we went around the outside of him. So actually a pretty okay start compared to the ones we did get before. And we're actually right on the back of Massa now, who's being squeezed out by Vettel a little bit. We tried to look around the outside, but Massa closes the barn door shut on us there on the exit of the corner. So I have to settle for 5th place at the moment. So I believe Rosberg kept it into turn 1. Let's look at the replay here. So I got a pretty okay start, you must say, compared to China at least, where we lost 2 places. Here, Raikkonen was the only one trying to challenge me, and I got him round the outside there. And then up ahead, the 2 Mercs, I think that's Rosberg getting through and keeping the lead, and Hamilton 2nd, and then Vettel obviously 3rd, and then Massa 4th, and then myself, I slot into 5th place. Raikkonen right behind me. You can see there, Massa tried to go down the inside of Vettel. He sort of got pinched on the apex, so I was able to have a little look around the outside, but it just didn't work because he closed the door on me on the outside, so we had to settle for 5th place. But that's a pretty okay start, especially considering the start we had in China, where we lost 2 places and we just understeered wide in the 2nd turn, so I'm very happy with that. We can't to lap 3 though now, and we've got to look behind us. We've got the Williams of Valtteri Bottas now going on our right hand side. He's trying to make the move. We're going to dive down around the outside, go around the outside like we did on Raikkonen on lap 1, and we've got 5th place back. So we're going to have to do a bit of fighting here, I think, with Williams. I think the Williams is looking very, very tasty on pace here, and looks like he's going to come back at us. You can see in the right mirror, he's going to try down the inside, and he actually is going to stick down the inside. He dives it down the inside, Bottas does, and that's a very audacious move from the AI. He tried to make it on the exit. He couldn't quite keep it there. So Bottas having a very good look at me, and he's going to stick with me through this section now, and I'm not feeling too amazing through this hairpin. It wasn't the best kind of exit and entry to the hairpin for these opening laps, I'm not going to lie. And Bottas gets a beautiful run on us around the outside here. Is he going to try and make the move on the right hand side? I'm going to stick to the left and try and give him some room. He's still side by side with us. We just tap him there on the right tire and push him a little bit wide there. Now Ricciardo's got ahead of him, but I'm sure that Williams will overtake Ricciardo soon enough. But we just managed to keep that there. I kept it tight on the line, but obviously you have to come out a little bit, otherwise you'll end up cutting the corner. So I had to come out a little bit on that corner, and we sort of bummed Bottas a little bit on the right tire. But now onto lap 4. There you go. As I said, the Williams will obviously come back with the straight line speed it has. He comes back down the inside. We're going to try once more round the outside on Bottas. We do it again, but he's going to get a very good exit. Look at the exit he gets there. He gains so much on us as we lose the back end. I'm going side by side now through to the left-hander coming up. Ricciardo also sniffing down our backside. We swoop to the left-hand side of the track. We come back on circuit. We dang tires a little bit there, and we're on the exit trying to battle with Valtteri Bottas. A beautiful little battle here. Scrap side by side through the next section on the right-hand. So we just go around the outside. I think we'll just about squeeze through. Yes, we do. You can see in the mirror, we just about squeezed through. That was very, very close. If Bottas would have had an even better run that exit, I think I probably would have had to concede the position. But now on the exit of the hairpin, once more, he's going to try it round the outside this time. And look at that. He's gone so wide there. He's gone right off circuit, and he's come back on it. He's just overtaken us, and he went off circuit. Now, that is just not on. That is surely he has to have some sort of like penalty, or the stewards have to let him know that he's to give me the place back, because he just went cleanly off circuit and gained an advantage from going off circuit and getting a better exit off the corner. But no, he stayed ahead in 5th place. We come to lap 8 now, a few laps later, and it's time for our pit stop. Kimi Raikkonen has overtaken us down the inside, but my tyres are really worn, so that's why he's taken us so easily through that final corner. We're going to come into pits. Raikkonen's going to stay out, but that was not on. I'm actually really annoyed by that. Bottas just taking us off circuit, basically. I mean, I know he made the actual part on circuit, but the only reason he got there was because he went off circuit and used that extra kind of speed and space to kind of accelerate off the corner. So that's a little bit annoying. The steward seemingly thinking that's completely alright, so fantastic. So we're in 6th place, a net 6th place, obviously, by the time we come out of the pits. When we come out of the pits right now, we won't be in 6th place, but we'll eventually get there. The tyres were going off pretty badly. Here at Bahrain, obviously, we've known in real life that Bahrain is quite a tyre-heavy circuit. You know, it's quite a hot place, so the tyres have a lot of fatigue when it's that hot. And even at night time here on the floodlights, it's still pretty damn hot here in Bahrain. And I think the Lotus, from what we've seen previous races in Australia, the tyre wear still isn't even there, even before you get to races like this. So the tyres were really struggling by lap 8, and I think the same sort of story here in the second stint, because we're on to lap 11 now, so we're 3 laps later. Raikkonen's coming down inside. We're going to try and defend as best we can, again making a move around the outside. That's pretty much been the kind of staple move we've made this entire race, around the outside of turn 1 to try and get back these AI cars. But now to the middle part of lap 11, coming through to this next corner again, Kimi Raikkonen looking down right inside here, and he's tapped us wide. Raikkonen, you just tapped us wide, and yeah, we made, the game tells us we made a collision, no shit, but wow. So he's just going to go on? He's just going to go on. Brilliant. So we're going to try and battle Nasser here, but we're trying to go around the outside, and we're actually making a nice little battle here with Nasser, but that's not the point. What on earth was that with Raikkonen? He just tried to go down my inside. I gave him enough room, I feel. He went down the inside and just completely straight-lined it a little bit and just tapped me wide, and I completely lost it. So that's just great. So we overtook Nasser there. A little nice battle there with him, but I would have preferred that we were battling with Raikkonen. So let's look at the replay here. So we're here on the kind of, what do you call it, bird's eye view camera. So we're looking at Raikkonen here. Now let's see, he moves to the inside. I give him enough room, and look at that. He just kind of slowly drifts right and just pushes me off circuit, which is just not on. Let's look at a replay now from his perspective. So the camera is now a little bit closer now, so we can see what goes on. Nice little forward facing camera. So here goes down the inside, and then from that angle, from this angle, looks even worse. It just looks like he swipes right and kind of pushes off circuit. So finally, the actual angle that'll probably determine it. Let's see what he does on his POV. So he goes down the inside. I give him, look at that. He just kind of swerves right, straight lines it right, and pushes me wide. And I'm guessing he's not going to get a penalty, because this game's just fantastic for that. So that's amazing. So we're down in 8th place. That's put a damper in my mood at the moment in this Grand Prix in lap 16. We're now battling with Nasser when we should have been battling with Raikkonen and Ricciardo. So now on lap 16, we're coming in for the pit stops. I know quite early. I would have liked to have stretched them to at least lap 18 maybe. I tried my best, but they just felt so awful. The tyres have just been a nightmare on this Lotus car. I think this is probably the biggest weakness of this Lotus car, is the tyre wear. So we're going to have to come in for the prime tyres. It's going to be quite a long stint on the prime tyres, and we're just going to have to do our best. I mean, it's going to be, what, 12 laps-ish, 11 laps-ish on these prime tyres. They aren't meant to go that long. They're meant to go about 10 laps, so we're going to have to have a little bit of pain on that last lap maybe, but we're going to have to try and stretch it, because those option tyres are feeling so horrible. So we come out, cold tyres on lap 13. You can see losing the back end a little bit. We just about keep it there on in P13 there. But now we come to lap 25 later on, a lot later on. You can see now Felipe Nasser is still right up my backside. We're still fighting with him. Unfortunately, that move that Raikkonen made completely ruined my entire Grand Prix. I wasn't able to keep up with him, and the pace was just horrendous. It was just absolutely horrendous. I think I was doing like 135s, and everyone else was doing like 133s or low 134s. It was just atrocious. It was such a nightmare, and I think the collision with Raikkonen really put me off. And then on lap 29, would you believe it? Can you hear that, guys? Can you hear that? Yep, you can hear that. I've run out of fuel. Absolutely amazing. Felipe Nasser goes through. Hulkenberg goes through. I've run out of fuel. What on earth has happened there? I was checking my fuel the entire time. Engineers didn't tell me anything about the fuel. You can see I'm on optimum. I am an optimum, and it's all fine. I was an optimum the entire race pretty much. I hardly used rich mix, and we ran out of fuel. Absolutely unbelievable. So we come through for 1 point. Just brilliant. Brilliant way to top it off. Just such a frustrating Grand Prix. Just unbelievable. I can't believe my luck there. We had the collision with Raikkonen, and then the game also runs us out of fuel. Just amazing. Just amazing. So 1 point there, unfortunately. That is just not what you want. But guys, if you did enjoy that, be sure to smash that like button, guys. Always awesome to see the support on these videos. Comment below what you thought. If you're around here, then do subscribe for weekly Formula 1 content. Obviously, a few of you guys have been asking on Twitter why the episodes have slowed down. I've said it many, many times, guys. Basically, I will be making an update video later on in the month, in September, to let you know when I do go back to university. But when I do go back to university, the videos will slow down. So I'm trying to slow them down right now so we get in the kind of mood. Because I feel like if I'm doing daily and I suddenly just move to like 1 or 2 a week, it will just be a big shock to the system. So I'm trying to slow it down. But you can see in the background here, I'm looking at the pace of this Lotus and the Red Bull, and it was just woeful. I was like 2 seconds slower, which was absolute madness. So yeah, that's a bit crazy. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Now, this part 4, the next one is part 5, obviously, at the Spanish Grand Prix. Part 5 may take some time to come out because, as some of you guys may have read on Twitter recently, I'm trying to think about what to do with this series because, to be honest, myself, I've got a little bit bored of recording career mode just non-stop, and I feel like it's getting a little bit stale, and I feel like I want to do something a little bit different on F1, maybe go back to an older F1 game, maybe try something different on this game. So I'm trying to think about what I can do with the channel moving forward with career mode stuff. So part 5 may take some time to come out, it may be a few more days than usual, but it will come out eventually. But I just need to think properly about where this series is going to go eventually, because we have months and months left until the new F1 game comes out, obviously. So I really need to think about what we can do in those coming months in terms of good quality content. So the next part may take some time. I hope you guys understand. Hopefully most of you will understand, because you guys are absolutely awesome about that. So yeah, I've been aarava. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next time.